Right.
Absolutely. It's they had 40 between the two. You're not going to beat a team like this if you're certainly turning it over 20 plus times and letting them have a bunch of second chance opportunities. And we knew that. So
Shai and J-Dub just really had it in the fourth. Like, what made it so difficult to defend and keep them from getting?
They got to their spots and they rose up and made shots over us. But we got to do a better job of trying to contain that first dribble like we did Game 3. Did a much better job there. So,
Chris, you have a balance between Ant going off and given what the game gives him. How do you think he played tonight?
I thought second half was more aggressive. He got downhill. We got him off the ball a little bit more. When he got to the paint, I thought he found some people, made the right plays. I think first half he lagged behind a little bit too much. He needed to get out in front so we could stretch the floor and screen for him a bit. But second half was much better. So.
Chris, similarly, what did you think of Julius tonight? And
Yeah, it's, didn't have a great night, obviously. Bench was really, really good, so I rolled with them. They were finding shots for each other. They shot the ball extremely well from the three-point line, which, we did a good job of finding those things. That's the guys that we chose to go with there. So.
On the offensive rebounds, was it, from your vantage point, a matter of just effort, or was it?
Yeah, it was. They on a lot of them hit first. They rebounded well out of their area. They came from distance to get stuff. I think some of them were long. Those we were all trying to crack back, and some of them were long, and we weren't able to get those, particularly later in the game. So.
It was a 2-point game.
Yeah.
Was the difference in a 2-2 series or 3-1?
Yeah.
How do you kind of emphasis upon you guys that there's still more series to play?
Yeah, for sure, 100%. But this isn't the formula to get it done. And I think that's the most important thing to take away from tonight. So.
Chris, you mentioned pregame about the decision making when you guys are making quick decisions.
Yeah.
Those turnovers go down. How much of that did you see in terms of?
Yeah, they. I didn't think we started the game with that, kind of mindset and mentality and imposing ourselves offensively. We turned it over 7 times in the first quarter, and a lot of those were just, trying to play in traffic, taking on matchups that invited more, attention and more of a crowd, and not kind of really going anywhere. So.
Chris, Nikhil leads you guys in scoring and is taking on difficult defensive matchups. Just what did you see from what he gave you?
Yeah, he had a great night. He shot the ball well. He got to the hoop. He made the right play. He battled his tail off, defensively. He was outstanding. He's really been playing well of late. So.
And Chris, how about Dante? Just like what he gave you off the bench?
Yeah, really good again. It was good to see him out there knocking down the shots. And again, those guys really did a good job of finding each other, moving the ball, and they had really good looks as a result of it.
The defensive looks that you give Shai, like how do you kind of make the decision in game, whether throwing a couple at him or just kind of trying to go one-on-one and make it tough on him, kind of individually that way?
He's 13 for 30. It's obviously went to the line 14 times. That's too much, but. 13 for 30 is a pretty good defensive effort there when it comes to, 2-point percentage. I know he's really, really good, but, it's the 16 for 37 from the 3-point line that hurt us a lot more than the 13 for 30 it did. So.
Jaden came out really aggressive today. Just what kind of boost did he give you in that first quarter, and is that something he can kind of do more throughout the game?
Yeah, he's been doing a good job all series. He's been really aggressive. He's shot the ball well, and he's had a matchup that he feels that he can take advantage of when the ball finds him. So he's been doing a great job. Thank you.